Yeah, well, first off, I want to thank WBCA for putting this event on. You know, it was great for us to have an opportunity to play such a good team so early. You know, that was the design as we prepare for our journey with a lot of new pieces and a lot of young guys and all the things. And it's a really good team. It was as good as advertised. They're long, they're deep, they're very experienced, so they've gone through a lot of things, which means that when there's game pressure, there's a little bit more confidence and assuredness, right? We're still sort of going to learn through game pressure, right? Learn through what that looks like and feels like and what has to come next. And so congrats to a very good UCLA team, and we're excited for the opportunity to continue to grow from it. You know, I give these two a lot of credit. I've been through it, especially Indya. She's been on a long journey here, and you know, I thought you saw her fighting spirit, and she'll continue to be important as we continue to grow this group where we need to be.
Courtney had to be thrilled with the first half. He forced turnovers, got scored in transition. Can you talk about that first, and then what kind of went awry in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, statistically, we took more shots and we turned the ball over less, right? Like, you win a lot of those games. You don't win them if you shoot 34% from 2 and 25% from 3, right? So you certainly have to shoot it a little bit better. We'll have to see the film to see which shots we like, which shots we wish we could get back. You know, so that's part of it. And then they kind of went on a run. They went into the middle ball screen stuff, and we, you know, best is a problem, right? You have to really manage that problem. And as a result, it forces you to make decisions. Are you going to put 2 on the ball? Are you going to put, are you going to fan out? And so you try to do what you can to mix that up. But that middle ball screen created some problems for us, and then we let sort of right drivers drive right. We sometimes we dug and swarm when we weren't supposed to. So some defensive things, but you know, it's also that we scored 18 points in the second half, or maybe it was a little bit more than that. I guess we scored 26, and doesn't seem right. Maybe we did, but I think we can continue to grow on the offensive end. You know, we're better. We win the paint. We can find our next guy. It's what happens next against a really good defensive team. And so I think our next steps are clear, and we're excited to get back to it.
For both players, can you talk about the high playing well with the number 3 team in the country for one half, and then it just kind of slips away?
I would say we know we can compete with the best teams in the country. We have all we need. It's just putting it all together for 40 minutes. I feel like that's what we've been learning, and what we learned against South Carolina. I feel like this was a better learning experience for us. We see that we can do it for longer. It's just we need to get to that 40-minute mark before March, because I feel like we can compete with the best teams.
Yeah, I agree with her. Like, we've seen we can do it. Like, we see it every day at practice. We can do it. Just like we need to figure out the way to do it for 40 minutes.
What were the emotions for you? Obviously playing with a bunch of former teammates, and you came out really playing well on both ends. Can you talk about the emotions of the game for you and how it went for you?
Yeah, I mean, of course I was a little bit more nervous than for a regular game. But as the game started, it's a basketball game that I've done this for my whole life. So
Everywhere.
yeah, everywhere, like since I was a little kid. So I mean, yeah, I mean it was fun playing my old teammates, seeing them do good. You know, yeah, it was nice.
Any chatter with your former teammates during the game?
No, not really.
She doesn't really chat much, right? I told her when we started, I said my favorite player to watch from UCLA last year is on my team. So I thought it's good to see her kind of get some jitters out of the way and handle that.
You talk about Sierra battling vets.
Yeah.
Fairly well for much of the night, but you just can't hold her down. And giving you the perimeter game as well.
Yeah.
And then Blanca coming in off the bench.
Yeah. You know, Sierra's hasn't played much here, and you know, as E so eloquently said, like, we see it in practice, and she just needs these game pressure moments. You know, we have a lot of freshmen and sophomores, and then we've got kind of Indya as our, like, grandma in the group, and so they just need all this game pressure, you know? And so she did a lot of good things, and she's certainly better. She's 4 games better than she was in our first contest. And then Blanca, her first chance to just start her sophomore campaign. You know, again, she hasn't played a minute for us yet this year, and then has to play against the #1 draft pick, you know, and do that on the road. So, you know, it's good to just get her game minutes and get her started, and us finding our rhythm. You know, we're getting a little bit more from Renaya as she continues to work her way back. So we still got some pieces that we've got to find our rhythm for, but as Indya said, there's enough here. We've just got to keep getting better. It's not, with a young team, it's not going to happen in the first month. We knew that. We know that. Right, but I know this group, and I know they'll continue to push to get better and better.
Well, Renaya's progression, she's still on minutes restrictions. Obviously, she played more than she played in the first 2 games combined.
Yeah, we just keep keep adding and seeing how it goes, you know. This is a non-conference, you know, you gotta win your conference, right? So we're gonna make sure that we're not doing anything in the non-conference that will affect the conference, quite frankly. So we'll continue to progress her as is needed and as her body allows, and you know, just be smart that we know we've got a huge ACC gauntlet ahead, and she's very experienced. We feel very comfortable with what she'll be able to do in December.
Any individual performances from your girls that kind of surprised you today?
No, I mean, I really feel like there was I see them every day, right? And so I know we could say, I appreciate that they don't recognize how young they are. And I give, again, Indya a lot of credit. She doesn't let them recognize that. She doesn't have time for them to spend a year to get better. And I think what they're showing is that this is the best Elina's played, right? And so our pieces are playing better and better, and our young kids are getting more and more game pressure, which is what we need in November. And I think the infusion of confidence that Indya throws into them and then leads by example in terms of her fearlessness is what we need, right? So they're doing that.
Billy, could you speak to Bets specifically? Obviously, you've played with her, you're familiar with her, and you've seen this before.
Yeah, I mean, Lauren's a great player. Like, we'd expect her to be the #1 draft pick. Like, with her size, her skill set, like, it's hard to guard her. I mean, I think we did a great job forcing her to take, like, tough shots, dribble the ball, which, of course, with her length, she wants to just put it up and not have to dribble and make a lot of moves. So I think we did a great job with that.
And then we have time for one last question.
What kind of statement did you all make tonight with this game, Indya?
I hope that we show we can compete with the best. I know it's not there yet, but we have all that we need to compete. We have all the skill, all the players that we need, and it's going to come together for sure at when the time is right.
Perfect. Thanks everyone. UCLA will be in next.